All right, we're good.
All right. Happy May 12th, everybody. Hello from DrupalCon New Orleans. Let's see. General announcements as usual. We still need speakers, I think, for Drupal Camp Bratislava, formerly Drupal Camp Czechoslovakia, which is May 28th through 29th. Their website is drupalcs.camp. They want to hear about Backdrop. We have slides. If anyone is there and wants to talk about it, feel free to steal the Backdrop slides or just talk about it in the hallway. We have, okay, Calabox is no longer in alpha. It's now in beta. So you do not need to use the code that we've been handing out for the last few weeks in the meeting in order to try Calabox. It's now free for everyone. So if you are interested in using Backdrop on Calabox, go ahead and fire it up. Should have no problem. We have free PHP Storm licenses for anyone who is a Backdrop contributed developer. So if you are a member of the Backdrop contrib group, send us an email to info@backdropcms.org, and we will send you a link to get a license key to PHP Storm. If you are not a member of the Backdrop contrib group, but yet feel you are a Backdrop contributor, we can help get you through that process. So send us an email, and we'll help with that. We also have Dragon t-shirts and hoodies, which are adorable, that can be yours, along with a donation to Backdrop CMS. We accept pull requests, cash, and plastic. So if you are interested in cash or plastic, you can go to our website, backdropcms.org/contribute, and make a donation. Or if you're interested in becoming a contributor, once you contribute, you can send an email to info@backdropcms.org, and we'll send a t-shirt your way. Updates from the PMC. This is the same update from last week that we have a new core committer, which is fantastic. It's been so great to walk around at DrupalCon and tell people that we have filled our project management committee and that we are expanding core committers. Everybody here is super impressed by that. So thank you everybody who stepped up for all those various positions. It's great to be part of a larger team. Community growth. I'm not sure if these are updated or not.
Yeah, they are. I'll do the community growth. So we currently have 200. Oh gosh, my voice. Turns out DrupalCon really takes it out of you. We have 254 total projects for Backdrop CMS on GitHub. 2 new projects have been released since last week, which is great. 170 total projects with official releases on backdropcms.org, 2 new official projects, and 238 total releases on backdropcms.org, 4 new releases since last meeting. So it's great to see both new projects and current projects being maintained as always. We have 53 total Backdrop contrib authors. There's several people that are in the queue, but it seems like the current applicants are all in the middle of working on their projects, or they're taking a break and they're going to come back. So we have lots of current applications, but currently, as far as I know, all of them are responded to, and we're just waiting on the authors to come back and finish up. So if you're interested in joining the Backdrop contrib group, like Jen said, you can visit github.com/backdropops/contrib, and that's where we go through the application process of reviewing new code for Backdrop contrib. All right, we'll kind of skim through infrastructure, which is the next item on the agenda. Usage statistics. Yay, the usage statistics are working. They've now been working for a couple weeks in a row. We want to add charts, and we want to collect better data from reporting websites. That's issue 99. If you're interested in taking a look at trying to make it so that Update module can send more information than just what projects are enabled, that would be great to get us better analytics about what things people are actually using in their Backdrop websites beyond just what modules they have or what projects they have installed on their site. Drush for Backdrop. We've had a working Drush extension for a couple months now. You can get it from the Backdrop contrib group /Drush. And it is a Drush extension that you just drop into your Drush directory, and it makes it so that Drush can work with Drupal 7, Drupal 8, and Backdrop. We do have a note in here that it only works with the 8.x version of Drush, so make sure that is the version of Drush that you're using. That's the latest stable version of Drush. And yeah, it's coming along. There's a bunch of commands. We're working on expanding the command set. You can find.
Jeff here?
Oh no, Jeff isn't here, I don't think. Nope.
Okay.
So yeah, Jeff's been doing most of the work on this. He is also here in New Orleans.
I saw him this morning. I told him we were having a meeting, but he wasn't sure if he was going to make it or not.
Right. Well, anyway, he's around. He's done a great job. And if you want to track more about Drush, it's in the contrib group, backdrop/contrib/drush. Let's see. I'll let you talk about the website.
Sure. There hasn't been any significant change in the website since last week, but in case you missed last week's meeting, we are currently working on single sign-on with GitHub. Gore's been making a lot of progress on that front, so thank you, Gore. We're working on building a showcase for people who have sites built with Backdrop to be able to display them on the website, and we have Eric working on that, so thank you, Eric. We are also thinking about building our own forums on backdropcms.org. This is a very long-standing issue for a long time about people who need to ask Backdrop-specific questions, but maybe the issue queue isn't the right place for them. So we're going to look into building our own forum on backdropcms.org, figuring out what are the most important things about that forum, what features they should offer, how to organize the forums, and how to manage the comments. So I'm going to be creating a couple of sub-issues on the backdropcms.org queue where I could use some feedback from you guys about how to manage some of these things in a scope we can control, but also in a way that will be most useful to our peoples. So keep your eye out for that in the coming weeks. I think that's probably the next big piece of functionality we're going to need to get going as people start using Backdrop. They're going to need to talk about it. And then, of course, we've got a bunch of stuff that's currently on the website that needs a little polish. The Find Modules, Themes, and Layouts pages, we now can add some more functionality, particularly integrating with usage statistics there. So if anyone wants to work on that, there are some follow-up issues on those, which is issue 95. We also could use some design review if anyone has an eye to design and wants to help us make sure that our aesthetic is consistent across the backdropcms.org site, particularly around the blog news section, event listings, and service provider pages. So we could, right now we're using the styles that were already there, but it might be better to kind of reevaluate those pages and do actual designs for each one of them. So if anyone wants to volunteer design, that's a great place where your work will be instantly appreciated and yeah, put to good use. All right, so speaking of news announcements, we had originally scheduled a blog post for this week about Jeff being our new core committer, but maybe we should push that till after the release, or do you want to still do it before and then do a blog post next week about the release?
Well,
it's probably not going to get up today.
Yeah. I guess it can be delayed. I mean, it is great news. Maybe we'll send it in a newsletter. So write up a blog post and then include that in the newsletter.
But that's the thing. I think you like Drupal.
Hi, Jeff.
Oh, hi, Jeff.
Hi.
Speak of the devil.
So we were just talking about whether or not we were going to be
able to write the blog post about you today. But we'll see. We'll try and figure out some way to squeeze it in. We did get a blog post up a week and a half ago, so we are kind of due for one. But with the release coming out this weekend, we have other things that are more important. But maybe it will, if anyone else on this call wants to write up a blog post, maybe we could do a review of it or something. I don't know how you feel about that.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
So if anyone has time to write a welcome, we're so happy that Jeff is a core committer blog post, we would love to use that as soon as possible, but maybe not necessarily today. Okay, newsletter. So we will be sending out a newsletter after Backdrop 1.4 is out. We're going to give ourselves a couple of days after the initial release to do some using of it to make sure that there aren't any follow-up bug fixes that need to also come out. There likely will be, so we'll plan on scheduling that newsletter around the 20th or whenever the follow-up bug fix release comes out, if it's necessary. And yeah, marketing tasks, if you are interested in helping with blog posts or newsletters or anything else marketing related, there is a tag in the issue queue, audience-marketing, on the backdropcms.org GitHub repository. All right, on to the fun stuff.
All right, I'm going to try to talk as loudly as possible.
Maybe just talk closer and talk louder.
Okay, so Backdrop 1.3.6 is the next bug fix release. That will most likely come out on Sunday, which is the 15th. And that will be the last of the 1.3.x releases. And 1.4 will be coming out that same day. 1.4, we've got a lot of exciting features that we're working on, and some of them we've made some pretty good progress on in the last week, as of course we have to. We've only got 3 days left, so the time is running short. All right, so what have we done? So we've got redirect module. Redirect module has been merged and is in core. Yay, that's so great. We also, this week, I'm going to skip right down to the other thing that we got done, and that is Project Browser. We merged Project Browser yesterday. Very exciting. We're really happy. Doc Wilmot, you're here. Thank you so much for taking the lead on that and making just such an awesome improvement to Backdrop Core. We did turn on that module by default. And now what happens, we changed the way that the little checkbox works on the installation page, that there's a checkbox for check for updates automatically. And what that checkbox used to do is it used to turn on update module. But because installer module depends on update module, what we did is we made that checkbox literally do exactly what it says, and update module stays on no matter what on all new installs. But the checkbox now turns on or off whether or not it automatically checks on cron jobs. So update module doesn't actually check for updates even though it's turned on unless you manually check for updates. So you can go to the updates page and manually check for updates, but if you uncheck the box, then it just doesn't do it automatically anymore.
Is there also a checkbox somewhere else in the UI that allows you to turn on and off that feature, or does it only exist in cron or in setup?
Yeah, so what we did is we took the update interval, which previously only had check every day and check every week, and then we added an option for check manually.
Okay.
And so you just need to change the setting to check daily instead of check manually to turn it back on.
Great.
Yep. So pretty neat feature. That was a great suggestion. I'm glad that we got that figured out, so that way we can have it so when people turn on, or install a new Backdrop website, that they get all of the functionality that we have available to them. So very cool. All right, next item on the agenda here. There also are some follow-up issues, of course, for some of these new modules. Redirect module, we have a follow-up to use dialogues. Project Browser, we have a follow-up that it needs a design review to kind of review the interface that we've built, and if there's some way that we could display it in a more friendly or, I don't know, aesthetically pleasing way, then that would be great. That's issue 1826 to do the follow-up review or follow-up design review for Project Browser. All right. New front-end theme is issue 1361. Wes, I know you guys just had a design meeting earlier today that we weren't around for, but can you summarize what you guys discussed?
Fair amount of outstanding issues. Could use help on a few if anyone has time. The theme's looking pretty good for beta. Mike just brought up an interesting idea of adopting something like Drupal's experimental feature stuff. I have heard grumbling about that as far as like the next Drupal point release is going to has a lot of breaking changes, so I kind of want to avoid that, especially with the theme. It's not really necessary, and the way we've developed it, I don't think that would end up being the case. As the royal we, I guess. Yeah, so the layouts have some outstanding issues. There's definitely some discussion points, like how we do some class naming things and adding the ability to have a library in the info file or whatever. We ended up deciding on that. So probably need to make sure that we're all on the same page today, make sure we can knock the rest of this stuff out. I probably only have today to work on this stuff, so FYI.
I think as far as our priority goes, what we're going to work on next is getting the layouts sorted, which will fit into the theme stuff, at least in terms of the library. So if you can spend whatever time you want to today on whatever you want, we'll take a look at the theme. But if something has to get cut between now and Sunday, it's likely that the theme will get pushed to 1.5. So maybe what we should do is plan on making sure that anything we need to integrate between the theme and the layouts, it's sorted. So we'll put them together and see how that goes, but hopefully be able to get it right with one and not the other. So let's work on that this afternoon, and then tomorrow we're going to be sprinting on Backdrop all day. So if it looks like we can make significant progress, that's great, even though you're not around. But you've got a big weekend coming up, so we don't expect any more time from you. That'll be fine.
Cool.
What do you think about that, Wes? Just as a general game plan. I know, like, you've done a lot of work, but I know that there's also a little hesitance around, you know, maybe it's not quite ready, and we don't have time for it, you know.
No, well, it's pretty much it's like a good minimum viable product right now. I need to put in some Flexbox fallbacks into the theme. Separate. It's like I'm actually using Flexbox to position some internal elements. It's not the layout stuff. There's that and like a couple other issues that I would like to do for the beta. But yeah, I'm focusing on layouts right now as well. So I can I'll have a sense of where it's at the end of the day. It's not all that unlikely that it's good enough to go in core. It's just it won't have all the features I'd like it to have, which we'd work on for the next part release. So.
Okay.
Yeah, if it doesn't go, that's fine. I can push it back to the contrib, work in there again, and get it ready for the next one. Whatever works better.
Okay. Well, we'll see how much we can get done today, and then reevaluate.
Yep. Okay, cool. Let's see. So new core layouts. We're adding new. Yeah, we kind of just covered this a little bit, but we're adding new layouts to core. And I took a look at that yesterday, and it's starting to look really, really good, actually. I tried, so we have the plan for our layouts is that we're adding all new layouts, which how many of them are there? 8?
8, yeah.
So we're adding 8 new layouts that are Bootstrap 4 based layouts, and then we're kind of deprecating the current layouts that are in core, the current 4. And the way that we're handling that is that we're marking in their .info files, we're marking them all as hidden. So in the info file, they're now hidden. But if the layouts are already enabled,
or in use,
and we're adding the ability to enable and disable layouts. So upgrading websites, the layouts will all be enabled because they upgraded. But on new installs, the legacy ones will not be enabled, and because they are hidden, they won't show up in the interface anywhere, even to turn them back on. So if you're already using them and you have them turned on,
you're fine.
Then nothing changes, but we get new layouts. It'll be a little bit weird because you'll have
extras.
Yeah, you'll have 2 options for a single column layout, one that uses Bootstrap and one that doesn't, basically. But it's really easy if you want to change your existing layouts from the old single column to the new single column. You just edit the layout, change which one it is, and the region names line up. So all you have to do is just change the layout in the settings page for each configuration that you have, and then the blocks are all moved over.
I'm not sure the region names line up because we made sure all of the region names were consistent across all of the new themes, but some of the old themes were probably using different ones. So we should check.
Oh, well.
We should check all of them. I think in particular the one that's going to be most tricky is the Bartik-like layout is definitely not going to line up with the Bootstrap-based Bartik layout. So we should check that one. I think the ones that are just one sidebar are fine because it's content and sidebar.
Right.
But the other ones might. The Bartik one might not.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. I only tested it with a single column, and of course the single column worked.
Of course.
Hey, but there's a header and a footer, so there's
That's
something there still. Okay, well, still for existing sites, they'll just continue using their existing layouts, and nothing bad will happen there. Actually, it kind of makes me wonder if we should disable the new layouts on upgrading websites.
No, because they might want to use them.
Okay, well, I mean they could turn them on, obviously.
Oh, you mean just in the enable disable?
Yeah, just turn them off by default.
Sure.
So if you're upgrading, nothing happens
changes
at all.
Yeah.
I think that would, and then you don't end up with weird extra layouts.
Okay.
You know.
Sounds good. It's a plan.
Okay, and so that's really exciting. That's coming along really great. Andy, thanks for making that sandbox where we have everything all together. And
that's really helpful.
That's great to see it all happen. And actually, that's really, honestly, the way that we want to be working in, like, once we figure out how to manage this a little bit better, like having large feature branches like this that have all of the functionality all together and then making sure it all works and then merging it all at the same time is a really good strategy for like continuously deploying major new features that just whenever it's ready and like fully baked and we can see it all at once, then we merge it all. And it's a big merge, but we
know it's going to work.
But we know it's going to work. Yep. So very cool. That's going to be what I'm going to be looking at again primarily today, Jen as well.
Yep.
Because if there's one thing that we need to make sure that, well, we've already got redirect, we've already got project browser. The one thing we want to make sure that we get in the next release now is layouts.
Better layouts. That's our biggest selling point right now. It's the one thing we have Drupal 8 doesn't have.
Right.
And they're coming up on the panels too. So I think like if we can make our layouts super slick, that's going to be a compelling user experience for people. Also, people who aren't interested in Drupal might find that a compelling experience. So I think focusing on layouts is a good place to put our energy.
Okay, we got one more item here, which is improving the rich text editor. It's a meta issue at 1087, and there's a number of sub-issues in there. At this point, like we haven't given it a lot of attention this release, and I think that the only thing we'll possibly have time for at this rate is we just want to make sure that we upgrade CK Editor to the latest version. That way we'll just be running the latest version. It's a minor point release for CK Editor, but we just like to update that library to make sure that we're not falling behind in using old third-party libraries. All right, those are the main things for the 1.4 release. We've been pounding through them as much as possible, trying to get them out and complete and polished. I'm still really optimistic about this release, and like already with the things that we've done, it's already going to be awesome, but it's going to be more awesome by Sunday. We have a number of UX and DX issues that we're continuously working on. You can find them by finding the square bracket UX or square bracket DX in the issue queue on GitHub. Really, like our review time, we're really going to be pushing towards these major features, although now that we have more core committers like Jeff, if you can keep an eye on the like continuous, like the other issues, basically the ones that are small, trivial fixes or just things that are obviously good ideas but aren't on our focus. That would be great to have you getting to the reviews that I can't because I'm focused on these layout issues. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's some work on. Oh, yes. Did you merge that, Jeff?
Yeah, this morning.
Woo! Nice
Good job.
So we had the ability to make it so that there would be a settings.local.php. So you can make. There could be.
Yeah.
So if you make a settings.local.php.
Backdrop will use it.
Backdrop will use it.
And you don't have to commit it to your repository with all your other information, which was hysterical because in working on that issue, I accidentally committed my settings.php file in the pull request. That was the problem we were trying to solve.
It works great.
It works great. Well, excellent. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so sprinting. Every Thursday is Backdrop Day. We're
That's today.
Yeah, we're going to be spending the rest of the afternoon reviewing, working on merging Backdrop issues, or at least making progress.
Filing new pull requests.
Yeah, specifically on layouts today. If you want to chat with us online, Gitter is the place to go. Gitter.im/backdrop/backdrop-issues. There's also a Gitter badge link now in the
info file.
In the issues repository, right?
README file.
In the README file for the issues repository. We do have an IRC channel, though most people aren't regularly participating there anymore. And we also have a Reddit channel, which, as we have been building out backdropcms.org and encouraging people to blog and post on backdropcms.org, like discussing things on Reddit, is still great, but we're really trying to move our marketing to mostly our own website. So, but it's still there, reddit.com/r/backdrop, if you're just interested in doing water cooler discussion of backdrop news around the web. Upcoming events featuring Backdrop, you can get a list of events that are coming up that Backdrop will be represented at, or presenting, or participating in at backdropcms.org/events.
So exciting news as of DrupalCon. We have a couple of upcoming Backdrop trainings at future Drupal events this summer. So if you live in the Midwest, keep an eye out for places to get trained on Backdrop this summer. More news as it happens.
we know that we're going to be doing Twin Cities Drupal Camp.
And possibly DrupalCorn in Iowa as well.
Okay, let's see. Other just minor, maybe not minor, but in the grand scheme of things, with our release coming so soon, we're super excited about that. But later this summer, there's also Beginning Backdrop CMS will be the first full-length book published on Apress. And there's also the Migrating from Drupal to Backdrop book that has been out for a couple months now, available from Amazon and Apress's website.
All right. Does anybody have anything we should talk about today, in particular relating to these things that we want to get sorted before release? Dun, 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 dun. All right, well, I'm sure there's plenty of stuff that we will need to talk about in the issue queue, if not in real time, perhaps in comments on pull requests or issues or whatever. So. I
want to add something, though.
All right.
Since Gore is here, Gore, thanks for all of the work you've been doing on testing and trying to find alternatives for Travis. That's something that we're going to revisit after release. That right now we're kind of hobbling along with like half of a testing system because Travis got significantly slower, and we've managed to make it work. But test runs currently take half an hour, and previously they took like 12 minutes. 15 minutes. And it will be so great to get on a faster testing platform again, like once we get through this release. Yeah.
Hey, Nate, no problem. I'm happy to help with it. Just you can approve PRs that I send. It's optimization for simple test, and it will help to speed up test on Travis.
Oh, okay. is that there's a PR for that already?
Yes. There is a PR that speed up Travis tests.
Oh, awesome! Is that the one that adds caching for installation profiles?
Correct.
Oh, yeah, that is awesome. Like that is something that I've always known. I'm like, man, this is so inefficient how we install Backdrop like hundreds of times per test or per test run, and that new feature will make it so that we'll cache the standard testing and minimal install profile databases and config directories, and then just use them as a template and skip the installation every time, which is great because a lot of times we end up running like 45 seconds of installation and then running 1 second worth of tests, and then we throw away the database and then we install it again and then run one test. Yeah, so this is going to be great. I'll take a look at that because if we can get that. running, then that would make my reviewing even for the next 3
Faster.
days quite a bit faster.
Yeah, right now it's between 15 to 20 minutes to accomplish test.
That's great.
How long?
15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fantastic. And Gore, I'm not sure how you feel about this, but if you wanted to write up a blog post about all of the amazing improvements you've done to speed up backdrop testing, that's something that could be super beneficial to, I think, the larger Drupal community as well. So.
Yeah, let me finish first part. That right now I figure out how to actually make tests in less than 5 minutes.
Okay.
So when I finish that part, I will write it down in post how it has been
Yeah.
done.
Whenever you want, for sure. If you can get them down to 5 minutes, that would be fantastic. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think you said that you could get it down to 5 minutes without threading, without separating them.
What?
Isn't that?
That's correct. 5 minutes for PHP 5.3. For PHP for PHP 7, it will be probably even less because it's faster.
Yeah.
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 It'll be epic.
That'll be awesome.
Anyway, so awesome. We're really excited about that. We should put that on the agenda to talk about in future weeks.
Okay.
So that we can get updates on that progress.
Sounds great.
Okay, wish you luck with finishing that part for 1.4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Any other comments? Questions?
Okay, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been so amazing with all of the feedback on all of the issues lately. Gregory, in particular, like testing all of the layouts, you've been so thorough and great with suggestions, and Project Browser too. And it's really helping us, like, if we work on some code and then we get feedback right away, we can work on code right away. And I think that this whole, like, the last month of working on Backdrop, the feedback cycle has been so great. So thank you, everybody, for writing all the code quickly and then testing it really quickly and helping us turn around. So go team.
Okay. Well, thanks so much, everybody. We're really excited. We've got a busy couple of next days, and we'll be making our 1.4 release on Sunday. If history is any indicator, it will be late on Sunday.
Midnight-ish California time.
But it will be on the 15th, as has every other release. So we're really excited. Thank you guys all so much. Yeah, we're doing a great job making great software. And
with great people.
Yes, with great people. And we'll chat with you guys again next week. On the other side.
On the other side.
Bye, guys.